On the morning of August 28, 2025, Annunciation Catholic Church in Minneapolis was shattered by violence. What began as a peaceful day of worship quickly turned into a scene of unimaginable horror, forever altering the lives of everyone present. Families and students had gathered for Mass, seeking comfort and community, but a shooter entered, turning a place of worship into chaos and fear. The sanctuary, once filled with hope and prayer, was suddenly filled with screams and confusion as people scrambled for safety. 2 children lost their lives, and 18 others, 15 of them children, were injured in the attack. Emergency responders rushed to the scene, working desperately to save lives and comfort the wounded. The community's sense of safety was destroyed in an instant. Shock and disbelief rippled through the congregation and beyond, as the reality of the tragedy set in. Parents faced their worst nightmare, desperately searching for their children while the city was plunged into shock and mourning. The pain was felt not just by those at the church but by the entire Minneapolis community. Vigils and makeshift memorials appeared almost immediately as support poured in from across the country. People gathered to honor the victims, lighting candles and leaving heartfelt messages. Counselors and support groups mobilized to help those traumatized by the attack, offering comfort and guidance to families and children struggling to process the tragedy. Despite the overwhelming grief, the community showed remarkable resilience, coming together to support one another. Yet, deep pain and unanswered questions remained, casting a long shadow over the days that followed. This was not just a headline, it was a deeply personal tragedy that left a lasting wound in the hearts of many, changing lives forever. As the community began to grieve and recover, the world watched in sorrow, searching for answers and trying to make sense of the senseless violence. Who was responsible, and why did this happen? The search for understanding had only just begun. In the aftermath, public figures rushed to comment. Rosie O'Donnell posted a video claiming the shooter was a white Republican MAGA supporter, a narrative based on her assumptions, not facts. Her statement, made in a moment of high emotion, quickly spread online, shaping public perception before any official information was released. But as the investigation unfolded, it became clear her claim was entirely false. O'Donnell's rush to judgment fueled political division and distracted from the real tragedy. This incident highlighted the dangers of spreading misinformation in a crisis. Assumptions, especially from influential voices, can have serious consequences. Her unfounded claim created a false narrative that needed to be corrected. Days later, Rosie O'Donnell returned to social media to apologize. She admitted she was wrong and had acted out of emotion, saying, "I messed up, and when you mess up, you fess up." Her public apology was rare, but reactions were split. Some praised her for taking responsibility, while others doubted her sincerity. Critics argued her apology was defensive and self-serving, pointing to her continued reliance on stereotypes. The backlash showed how hard it is to undo the damage of a false public statement. Even with an apology, trust was broken, and division remained. The controversy underscored the lasting impact of misinformation. Meanwhile, the FBI launched an intensive investigation, working around the clock to uncover the shooter's true motive. Agents sifted through evidence, interviewed witnesses, and analyzed digital footprints, determined to piece together the events that led to the tragedy. FBI Director Kash Patel soon addressed the nation, officially classifying the attack as an act of domestic terrorism. He emphasized that this was not motivated by politics or partisanship, but rather by the shooter's hate-filled anti-religious ideology, a chilling reminder of the dangers posed by such extremism. Evidence revealed the shooter had deliberately targeted the church, driven by deep-seated animosity toward organized religion, and in particular, a long-standing resentment of Catholicism. Investigators found that this hatred had been festering for years, fueling the violent act. The shooter's manifesto, discovered among his belongings, also contained virulent anti-Semitism and radical anti-Israel rhetoric. These writings painted a disturbing picture of a mind consumed by bigotry and conspiracy theories. This was not the act of a political partisan, but of someone driven by a toxic mix of extremist beliefs, conspiracy thinking, and hatred. The shooter's worldview was shaped by a dangerous blend of ideologies that rejected tolerance and embraced violence. The FBI's findings corrected the misinformation that had initially spread in the aftermath, shifting public focus to the real source of the violence. Their investigation brought clarity to a situation clouded by rumors and speculation. It was a chilling case of hate-motivated terrorism, not a partisan attack as some had first believed. The true motive was rooted in prejudice and intolerance, not political rivalry. The truth as it emerged was far more complex and disturbing than early assumptions suggested. It forced the public to confront uncomfortable realities about the nature of hate and extremism in society. Waiting for facts proved essential to understanding the tragedy. Rushing to judgment only deepened confusion and pain for those affected. The real motive demanded a more thoughtful public conversation, one that goes beyond headlines and asks how such hatred can take root and what can be done to prevent it in the future. The Minneapolis church shooting and Rosie O'Donnell's apology are stark reminders of how our words and actions can ripple through communities, especially in times of tragedy and uncertainty. These events offer a powerful lesson in responsible speech, urging us to pause and reflect before we react or share information. In a world where information spreads instantly and opinions travel faster than facts, every word we choose matters more than ever. Jumping to conclusions during a crisis can deepen wounds, fuel misinformation, and divide communities. O'Donnell's unfounded claim only added to the confusion and conflict at a moment when unity, compassion, and understanding were needed most. This tragedy highlights why we must wait for verified facts before speaking out or making judgments. Accountability matters. Admitting mistakes is difficult, but it's necessary to repair trust and begin healing. We all share responsibility for fostering thoughtful, fact-based discourse. Before sharing or commenting online or in person, ask yourself, do I have the facts? Am I reacting emotionally, or am I seeking understanding? Patience, humility, and a commitment to truth not only honor the victims, but also help us build a more compassionate, trustworthy, and resilient information environment for everyone.